All right, let's dive into this pure vibrance laser technology.
Mhm.
Seems like there's a lot of buzz around it. You sent us a whole mountain of info on it. Articles, research, summaries, all kinds of stuff. So clearly you want the down low on if it lives up to the hype.
Well, yeah, just glancing through all this, they're not holding back on the claims, that's for sure. They're really pushing this as like a big scientific breakthrough, not just another, red light gadget.
Yeah, I saw that too. They're like comparing standard LEDs
Yeah.
to listening to AM radio.
Mhm.
And their lasers are full on HD stereo. So what makes it so different?
It all comes down to what they call human blueprint frequencies. Basically, their lasers are infused with this specific waveform that's got like 1645 frequencies in it. And they're supposed to like interact with our bodies on this deep level.
1645 frequencies. Wow. That's a lot more complex than just regular red light therapy.
Right.
But what does it actually do? Like, what's the impact?
The heart of it all seems to be mitochondria. You know those tiny powerhouses in our cells that make energy?
Oh yeah, mitochondria. I vaguely remember those from way back in biology class. But remind me, why are those so important?
Well, think of them like little batteries that power every single function in your body. So when those batteries are running low, we feel tired, we age faster, and we're more likely to get sick. Pure Vibrance is saying that their lasers can basically supercharge these mitochondria.
So like giving our cells a boost of energy, basically. And do they have research to back that up?
Oh yeah, tons. They've got studies showing a big jump in ATP production, which is the fuel our cells use after just a few seconds of laser exposure. And they even have evidence that their lasers can penetrate deep into tissues, like up to 9 inches with infrared light.
Wow, 9 inches. That's pretty deep. So it's not just surface level stuff.
Nope, it means they can actually target pain and inflammation right at the source.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But they don't just stop at energy and pain, do they? I mean, their list of benefits is huge.
It's kind of overwhelming, actually. Pain relief, wound healing, anti-aging, mood regulation. They cover a lot. But what's interesting is how they tie all of those benefits back to cellular function.
So it's not just treating symptoms on the surface, but actually making our cells work better from the inside out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like take pain relief, for example. They talk about conditions like arthritis, fibromyalgia, carpal tunnel. Those are notoriously painful and often don't respond well to conventional treatments. But their research suggests that laser therapy can reduce inflammation and help those cells heal, which can lead to more lasting pain relief.
Okay, and what about the anti-aging claims? I saw something about stimulating collagen production and even impacting these things called telomeres.
Yeah, they go pretty deep into the science of aging there. So collagen is super important for keeping our skin firm and elastic, which is why we get wrinkles as we age. And telomeres are like these protective caps on our DNA that shorten over time and contribute to cellular aging.
So the longer those telomeres stay, the younger our cells stay.
Exactly. And get this. Pure Vibrance actually has research suggesting that their lasers can boost collagen production, so potentially reducing wrinkles and improving skin tone. And there's even evidence that their lasers can actually lengthen those telomeres.
Whoa, wait, really? So potentially slowing down or even reversing aging at the cellular level?
That's what they're suggesting, and it's definitely a hot topic in anti-aging research.
That's pretty mind-blowing.
Yeah.
And it all ties back to boosting that cellular energy, right? More energy for our cells means more energy for us to do the things we love.
Exactly. They even say their lasers can improve mood and cognitive function, probably because of that increased cellular energy and better blood flow.
It's pretty remarkable how they connect all these benefits back to those tiny mitochondria.
I know, right? It really is a whole body approach. But there's even more. It's not just red light. They have green and violet lasers too. And each color seems to target different things.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm definitely intrigued. Let's talk about these colored lasers and see what they bring to the table. Starting with the green laser. What's so special about that one?
Well, the green laser is all about circulation and oxygenation. And they specifically talk about its role in producing nitric oxide, which is a really important molecule that helps relax blood vessels and improve blood flow throughout the body.
Okay, so better blood flow. What does that mean for our health in simple terms?
Well, think about it. Every single cell in our body needs oxygen and nutrients to function. So better blood flow means those essential things are being delivered more efficiently, which can have a positive impact on tons of things like blood pressure, wound healing, even cognitive function and athletic performance. They even mention some potential benefits for bone health.
Wow, that's a pretty wide range of benefits. All right, so green is for circulation. Now, what about the violet laser? What's its superpower?
This one gets a little more technical, but it basically targets the very first stage of energy production in our mitochondria. Remember how we talked about ATP being the fuel for our cells? Well, the violet laser seems to jumpstart that process, giving your mitochondria an extra boost right from the get-go.
So if the red lasers are like giving your mitochondria a full tank of gas, the violet laser is like that extra shot of espresso to get things going.
Haha, yeah, that's a great analogy. And because it's involved in that early stage of energy production, the violet laser is also linked to anti-aging and cellular rejuvenation.
This is a lot to absorb, but it's fascinating how they've combined different laser colors to create what they call this symphony of frequencies. But I got to ask, they mentioned something called sacred geometry in their materials. What's that all about?
Yeah, that's a concept that goes way back, relating to the idea that certain shapes and proportions have like inherent power and harmony. And Pure Vibrance says they've incorporated those principles into their laser design, which they say amplifies the effects.
Okay, so they're combining cutting-edge laser technology with ancient wisdom. Interesting approach. But with all these big claims, I'm sure some people roll their eyes. What about the scientific evidence?
Well, that's actually where Pure Vibrance really shines. They provided us with a ton of research studies and clinical trials that back up their claims. And we're not talking about just anecdotal evidence or marketing fluff. This is solid science.
So it's not just taking their word for it. There are actual studies showing real results.
Absolutely. They've done their homework and they're not afraid to show it. And on top of all that, they've also got a ton of user testimonials. Obviously, everyone's experience is different, but the sheer number of positive reports is pretty impressive.
That's good to hear. So it sounds like they're walking the walk, not just talking the talk.
Exactly. And that's what makes this technology so exciting. It's not just a theory, it's backed by real science and real results.
This has been a lot to process. We've talked about mitochondria frequencies, different colored lasers, even sacred geometry. And it seems like Pure Vibrance actually has the research to back it all up.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in, but it's clear they're really pushing the limits of what we thought was possible with light therapy.
And I bet you're curious to hear more about how it all works in practice. Don't worry, we'll be diving into the details of using these lasers, the recommended treatments, and even some more fascinating applications in part 2 of our deep dive. So stay tuned.
Okay, so we've established that this Pure Vibrance stuff isn't just some gimmick. They've got real science behind it and some pretty impressive claims. But let's get practical. How does all of this actually work, like in real life?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering too when I was digging through all this stuff. And, you know, one of the things that really stood out to me was how easy they've made it to use.
So you don't have to go to like some special clinic or anything.
Nope, these are designed to be used right at home. They've got really clear instructions, diagrams, even videos to walk you through everything.
That's great. But I'm kind of picturing some complicated routine with like hours of treatment. How much time do you actually have to spend on this? Actually, that's another good thing about it. They recommend these short, frequent sessions, just a few minutes at a time focusing on specific areas. And you can repeat those sessions a few times a day whenever it fits into your schedule.
So it's more like incorporating these little laser boosts into your routine, not having to carve out huge chunks of time. That makes it way more doable for busy people like me.
Exactly. Like a few minutes on your knee in the morning, target a sore muscle after a workout, even a quick facial treatment before bed. It's all about fitting it into your life.
Okay, that definitely sounds more manageable. But they have those 3 different laser colors, red, green, and violet. You have to use all of them every time. Each color has its own specialty, but together they're even more powerful.
Exactly. Red and infrared are all about boosting that ATP production. Green enhances circulation and oxygenation, and then violet kicks off that initial mitochondrial energy boost. So yeah, together it's like a symphony of frequencies working in harmony.
Okay, I love the symphony analogy, but let's say I'm dealing with something specific, like that annoying knee pain I've had. Would I use all 3 lasers there or focus on one color?
For something like that, they'd probably still recommend using all 3. But you can adjust the treatment time for each color based on what you need and how your body responds. Like if it's a flare-up with lots of inflammation, maybe you do a bit more red and infrared, since those are known for their anti-inflammatory properties.
So there's room for personalization. You're not locked into one rigid routine.
Nope. It's all about finding what works best for you. They encourage you to listen to your body and adjust as needed.
This might sound dumb, but I'm picturing myself like holding these lasers against my skin for each treatment. Is that how it works?
Haha. Actually, no, that's where things get really interesting. Their technology works even through clothing.
Wait, what? Through clothing? How is that even possible?
It's all about those frequencies. They can penetrate right through those layers. And get this, they even suggest lasering food and water.
Well, hold on, lasering my lunch. Is this like some high-tech cooking method I haven't heard of?
Not exactly, haha. Their idea is that those frequencies can actually enhance the energetic properties of the food and water and potentially boost the nutritional value. It's based on this concept that everything is energy and those frequencies can influence it.
Okay, that's kind of wild. But it definitely fits with their whole approach of targeting the body's energy systems. But what about long-term use? Can you use these lasers every day for months or even years?
Well, from their research, there's no indication of any risks with long-term use. In fact, they actually encourage consistent use as the key to getting the full benefits.
So it's not a quick fix, it's more of a lifestyle thing.
That seems to be their philosophy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about incorporating these lasers into your routine to proactively maintain your health and well-being.
I can definitely get behind that. It's empowering to have tools that can help us stay healthy over the long haul. We've covered treatment time, safety, even the food lasering thing. Is there anything else we need to know about actually using these lasers?
Well, one thing they really emphasize is consistency. The more consistently you use them, the better the results you'll see. And get this, they even suggest treating multiple areas at the same time to save time.
Multitasking with my lasers? I like it. But that brings up a question. How do you know where to target those lasers? It's not like you're just randomly zapping yourself. All this talk about science and technology, I want to bring it back to the human element for a minute. We mentioned those testimonials earlier. Were there any specific stories that really stood out to you?
Oh, there are so many. But one that really resonated with me was from this woman who had struggled with chronic back pain for years. I mean, she had tried everything, medication, physical therapy, even surgery, and nothing really worked long term. She was pretty skeptical about these lasers at first, but after using them consistently for a few weeks, she said her pain had significantly decreased and she had way more mobility. She was able to do things she hadn't been able to do in years, like gardening and playing with her grandkids.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's easy to get caught up in the science, but that story really reminds us that this technology has the power to make a real difference in people's lives.
Absolutely. It's about real people getting real results. And I think that's what's so compelling about Pure Vibrance. They're not just selling a product, they're offering a solution that can help people live healthier, happier lives.
That's awesome. It's inspiring to see how they're using this cutting-edge technology to empower people to take control of their own health.
Well, this has been incredibly informative, but I'm definitely even more curious to hear about some of those more advanced applications and the bigger picture implications of what we've learned so far, but we'll have to save that for part 3 of our deep dive, so stay tuned. Okay, so we're back for the final part of our Pure Vibrance deep dive, and honestly, my mind is still kind of blown from everything we've talked about already, but I feel like there's so much more to uncover.
I know, right? This technology really is something else. The more you learn about it, the more fascinating it gets.
Well, one thing that I keep thinking about is that whole telomere lengthening thing. We touched on it before, but it's such a game changer that I really want to unpack it further. Can you remind me again, what exactly are telomeres and why should we care about them? Okay, so picture those little plastic tips on the ends of your shoelaces. You know how they keep the laces from fraying? Well, telomeres are kind of like that, but for our chromosomes, they protect the ends of our DNA, and they play a big role in cell division and overall cell health.
So basically, the longer those telomeres are, the better our cells function.
Exactly. Longer telomeres mean younger, healthier cells. And shorter telomeres are linked to aging disease, even a shorter lifespan. It's one of the key factors in how we age.
Okay, that makes sense. But how do these Pure Vibrance lasers actually affect those telomeres?
This is where it gets really interesting. They say their lasers actually stimulate the production of telomerase, which is a special enzyme that can actually lengthen those telomeres.
Wait, hold on. They're not just slowing down the shortening, they're actually making them longer. That's incredible.
It's a big claim for sure, but they actually have research to back it up.
So this isn't just some theory. It's been proven in scientific studies.
Right. Exactly. And the implications are huge. We're talking about potentially slowing down or even reversing aging at the cellular level.
It's almost like something out of a sci-fi movie. And it all goes back to those human blueprint frequencies, right? Those specific frequencies that are supposed to resonate with our bodies and optimize how our cells function.
You got it. It's like they've found the secret to cellular rejuvenation.
So potentially we could heal faster, recover from injuries, better maybe even regenerate damaged organs. That's kind of mind-blowing.
I know, right? Imagine being able to repair a heart after a heart attack or heal a spinal cord injury. It sounds like science fiction, but it's becoming more and more realistic thanks to research like this.
It's amazing how much we're learning about the human body and what it can do. And it seems like Pure Vibrance is really leading the way in this whole new era of healthcare.
Absolutely. They're not just treating symptoms, they're actually tapping into the body's own healing power and helping us unlock our full potential for health and longevity. And it's not just physical benefits either. A lot of users report feeling happier, mentally clearer, even a greater sense of overall well-being.
Yeah, that makes sense. When our cells are energized and working their best, it affects every part of us. It's like a ripple effect that spreads through our body, our mind, even our emotions.
Exactly. It's this holistic approach that recognizes how everything is connected. And it's giving people the power to take control of their health instead of just passively accepting conventional treatments.
I love that. It's about reclaiming our power to heal and thrive. And it's so inspiring to see how Pure Vibrance is blending this cutting-edge science with ancient wisdom to create something truly transformative for health and wellness.
It really has been an incredible journey exploring this technology with you. From those tiny mitochondria to the huge potential of telomere lengthening and stem cell activation, it's clear that Pure Vibrance is really paving the way for a whole new era of health and human potential.
I totally agree. It feels like we've only scratched the surface of what's possible. And I'm excited to see how this technology keeps evolving and impacts lives in the years to come.
Me too. It reminds us that there's always more to learn and discover, and that the future of health is brighter than ever.